I had the worst mood last night. So today is day 75. I always do that. I always like flip my chair. Okay, let's get into it. I'm gonna spill some tea. I got cranky last night. Um, I'm in like a ponytail headache because I haven't washed my hair since the gym. This is a really good look for me. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share with you one of the most powerful healing tools, as well as a tool that's going to help you step back into your power. Okay. So I'm going to share that with you in a minute here. First, I'm just going to spill some tea and vent about how cranky I was last night. So, a couple of different things. Um, when you are in soul purpose, and I really hope that this doesn't piss anyone off, but it really fucking makes me annoyed. Here we go. This is vulnerability. Like, I'm going to speak some of my truth. This might offend a couple of people, so that's not my intention with it. And it is what it is. When you are in soul purpose, okay, I work with a lot of people. I help people step into soul purpose. I teach them tools that I have learned the hard way for 22, well, 44 years because I'm 44, but 22 years on this planet. And I offer a lot of deep wisdom between the education backgrounds that I have, the credentials I have, which I don't fucking care to talk about whatsoever because they don't matter, and the hardships that I've gone through. And I've had to learn this the hard way, right? So I teach a lot of different things, a lot of different tools. My Ascension retreat is all about the Power 369. So I want your advice on something when I'm done sharing this. It's all about the Power 369. I have dissected, Nikola Tesla had this download about the Power 369, and I figured out how to apply it to your own reality. So this is really valuable content. No one's sharing this content. I'm in the middle of working with some physicists that are trying to disprove my theories. I've done endless case studies. So I haven't really brought a lot of it forward. So my advice is, or my what I want from you advice, please, for the love of God, do I just start dropping TikToks on it? And here's where my hesitation happens. I have watched a dozen over the last, more specifically, 3 years, a dozen of my clients, my students, who have either taken the Ascension Retreat with all of that information or that are working with me even worse, one on one, and take the lessons I've taught them and make their own TikTok word for word what I've taught them without giving me credit or tagging me or even thanking me for it. That hurts my effing feelings, man. It's like, one, that's not your message. Your message isn't my message. Two, what are you doing? Like, where's the integrity in that? So it hurts a little bit. And it makes me, again, with any trauma that I have, maybe this is just me being an asshole and thinking, like, no, go ahead, like, flattery, or what's the saying? In, in what's the saying? Something about someone copycatting you and it's the biggest form of flattery, something like that. Um, and I normally try to do that, but it's gone as bad as one chick who was really wanting, because I often hear, like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want your soul purpose to be? And I do often get, no joke, I want to do what you do. And I'm like, well, it's not as easy as it looks, let me tell you, but awesome. Let's get you there. And I had one chick literally record our sessions, take notes, and develop her own program. And in a community that I had previously lived in, went around to all the businesses trying to launch herself with my fucking program in under her name. So she got blocked real fast because I don't want to see what you're doing. And I do have this theory, really, truly, I do have this theory that um, if it's not your message, you're not going to align and people aren't going to follow you. They're not going to align with you. You have to bring your own message to the world. And sometimes that's really tricky to figure out. And I understand that. And I mean, it took me a long time to figure out what my message was. And it shifts and it continues to evolve always. But yeah, put me in a real ugh last night. So I don't know if do I just stop? Like, it's scary, right? Putting your stuff out there that I've busted my fucking ass on it is scary having people, or the thought of people taking it and copying it and making it their own, especially if have bigger following than you do, right? Because I don't have that big of a following. It's not something that I've really, one, I don't even know how to grow it. Two, I've never given this any focus until the last few months. So here we are. What do I do? So that's super fun. So it spiraled me into, that's not really nice. Like, that's not really nice. And that made me feel a little bit sad. And I'm going to be really honest with you. I do have moments of wanting to give the fuck up. It's overwhelming sometimes. And I know I choose my clientele. I've learned the hard way to be very selective about who I say yes to. So now I am very, very selective about who I work with. I won't work with anyone just to have a client because I don't need to. So that's part of me owning my power. Um, I am very careful about the messaging that we put out, and I try to stay in my fucking lane, even though I have a bazillion opinions on a lot of things that are going on that I think are all part of this healing process. I stay in my fucking lane. And I wish that some people would stay in their fucking lane. That would be great. If we all stayed in our fucking lane, it'd be a different world, right? But no, we like to crash into other people. So I went through that. And then I'm going through some personal like shifts. And the one thing that I keep saying and harping here is your healing journey doesn't end. It is endless, beautiful journey, the same way as your spiritual awakening never ends. They go hand in hand. And as you're going through your system and you're doing these deep dives, and the podcast that Sarah Rose and I recorded yesterday specifically on this, that'll be up later this week, about not obsessing over the deep dives, not obsessing over the healing journey, but finding balance in between your human experience, because that is why you are here, and the shadow work and the deep dive inner child work, and not getting neurotic about it. So I've got a really simple tool that helps you discover and move through and power yourself up. And so I'm going to share that today. Is there anything else I want to say? What did I go through last night? Because I'm all about being vulnerable here. So last night I went through, it's in regards to my tool. So let me share the tool and then I'll share with you what I did. So we have 4 bodies. We have our spiritual, mental, physical, emotional bodies. We have 4. They're all their own entity. Your inner child is your emotional body. Your cellular structure, your 40 trillion cells, 40 something trillion cells, a lot of cells. And each one of those cells, for shits and giggles, look at it like this. This is because I'm a visual. It's not what it actually looks like, but for shits and giggles, do this. Each cell, so you know when you cut a tree and you can see how old the tree is through the rings? So each ring is a year of that tree's life. So look at your cells kind of like that. There's layers. And each one of your cells is responsible for communicating with all 4 of your bodies. Your belief structure impacts the way your emotional body responds to the world. So one of my beliefs is I'm not going to be kept. Fear of abandonment. So that impacts my emotional body whenever I'm in a relationship where I'm fearful of, do I love this person more than they love me? Are they going to stick around? Are they going to commit? Are they going to build something with me? So my emotional body starts to become a little inflamed. And then that impacts my frequency. That impacts my perception, which changes the outcome. So that's how your vibration, the law of vibration works. The law of attraction is always responding to the law of vibration. That's just a lesson in itself right there. There's 12 main universal laws. Anyway, your cellular structure holds all of your beliefs and it impacts. If you are not healing those deep pieces, it's going to create a physical reality for you, whether that is in your actual meat suit, me having cancer twice and having aggressive autoimmune disorder. Let me track that. Experiencing an aggressive autoimmune disorder. I don't have anything. That's from all of the physical and emotional trauma. It manifests into physical reality, right? So last night, I wanted to make sure that I was fueling all my 4 bodies. You have to heal all 4 bodies. So here's this little tool that I have. Take a piece of paper and divide it into 4 categories. I used to be mortified over my handwriting. Here's my handwriting. It's shit. So messy. Like a kid wrote it. I love it. I used to be so embarrassed over this. Anyways, so you're going to make a category for your spiritual body, mental, emotional, physical. Then you're going to make 2 columns in each one, a big task and a little task. So your big task is going to be an hour-long thing. Your little task is going to be a 5-minute thing. In each category, how you can take care of, heal, love, nurture, fill the bucket of each one of your 4 bodies every single day. Every single day. I make sure that I'm fueling all 4 bodies. So that's why you want something big and small. If you have 5 minutes, you're just going to do a 5-minute thing. So I'll give you some examples. My spiritual body, obviously meditation, like, oh, blissing out, getting downloads. My 30 minutes of spiritual reading. So whether I'm reading on Galactic, because I am a starseed, I'm doing research, or reading a 5-minute article, or watching a 5-minute YouTube, or going to Gaia TV and having that, or a podcast running in the back, anything to invoke that spiritual awareness. The other thing, side note, when you're getting downloads in your meditation, it's going to be way longer than I intended it to be. So sorry. But it's packed with tools. When you're getting downloads in your meditation, sometimes you don't know you're getting them, and they will be triggered or activated and move through your awareness with external tools. So either talking out your meditation, if you can recall it, or sometimes a movie. I'll be watching a movie and boom, my downloads for like 3 days or 3 weeks will just come flooding up to the point where I have to pause the movie, grab my journal, and start like writing shit down. As it's moving through you, if you don't captivate it, it doesn't necessarily stay with you. So don't trust the process of like, I'm going to remember this. It's going to be fine. Write it down. Trust me, I didn't for years. I have so much more awareness and knowledge and knowing now because of that. So write it down, talk it out, process it, take notes, all those things. So something small on the spiritual. Okay, so we talked about spiritual body, mental body, reading, researching. That can be 5 minutes, an hour. My mental body is so much stronger when my physical body works out because all 4 of your bodies are aligned. You have 4. If you have 2 bodies over here, 2 bodies over here. So let's say your physical body's in great condition and your spiritual body, bam, it's going awesome. But your emotional body is a little out of whack, therefore impacting the spiritual body. You just got to get one other body over. So if you start working on your spiritual body, the emotional body will follow and give you note to what it needs to do in order to heal or go to the next level. So you want to get 3 of the bodies aligned. The 4th body always follows. Real easy hack with weight loss, by the way, or strengthening the body or healing your body. Take care of the other 3 bodies. Your physical body follows. Real simple. For the physical body, obviously working out, gardening, stretching, dancing in the kitchen. I want you to just create your own list of things that you enjoy. It has to be something you enjoy. So write those things down. And then your emotional body. This is the one I really want to dive into because this is what I did last night. So music is great for my emotional body. Mantras are great for the emotional body, as long as they are, I am is the frequency of creating. You're creating whatever you're putting on the end of I am. So if you're saying I'm tired, I'm dead. I said that forever. When I went through a real challenging timeline, 4 fucking years. Let's not joke about that, but yeah. But I remember one specific hard timeline, and I was in a constant state of an aggressive flare up, which causes just a lot of depletion in my body. And I kept saying, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm dead. Like I am dead. And I ended up with cancer. Oh, let's not do that. So with your mantras, I am positive and present. So when I'm feeling exhaustion, I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling exhaustion moving through my body. I am really gonna love the fuck out of bed tonight. Oh yeah. Totally different vibe than, oh my God, I'm so tired. When I notice my aging process, I never ever go into, oh my God, I'm so old. Nope. I go into, oh, look, my wisdom's showing. Well, isn't that nice? My knees are demonstrating wisdom today. That's lovely. And I just kind of play with it. So last night, I'm going through this little bit of trigger of sustainability in a couple of different areas of my life. Not that there's any reason for me to be going through it, but it was on the surface. and I went into a bath. So my physical body loves a good, luxurious bath. And this is another big tip that I teach a lot of my clients. Okay. So I'm throwing a lot of information at you today. I went into the bath, I set ambiance. So there was music. It was my Have a Good Cry playlist because I needed to cry. Candles, no big light, so that it was soft. I wasn't going to be looking at my tummy. Bubbles in the bath, magnesium flakes, like all my favorite things. And I sat in the bath with a glass of wine. So now I'm invoking all my senses. I've got visual, I've got the smell of the bath, all the luxurious product. I've got a nice glass of wine for my taste. I've got the sound. I've got, oh yeah, I'm feeling it, right? Set myself up and laid in the bath. And I imagined that 33-year-old me. So she got her heart smashed. I've only had my heart smashed once. Well, once, a progression of almost smashing with my twin flame, but not now. Smashed though when I was 33, like holy shit, smashed. This guy was beautiful and we had so much chemistry and we were so playful together. Reminds me a lot of the relationship I'm in now, but not nearly as good. And he had commitment issues. So didn't wanted to talk about our future house and all of these things, but didn't want to take any action. So I felt like I was being led on, which I think I was. I think we were both in a rebound situation, and I'd say whatever. Anyways, smashed my heart. So I'm sitting in the bath and I'm feeling this fear of sustainability, this vulnerability that I'm feeling right now, going through, you know, coming back together with my twin flame for the third time and us talking out owning our own fucked up that I shared in another video. So really talking about our own fucked up and not each other's fucked up. Like, here's my fucked up. What's your fucked up? What are we doing with our fucked up? How do we navigate this? And our needs or desires or requirements for both of us to feel untriggered are very, very different. And so there's a lot of like, where do we meet on this bridge conversation happening, which we're figuring it out. But there was my flare up. There it was, right on the surface. Whew. So I sit in the bath. I imagine 33-year-old me is just sitting on the toilet seat, not like taking a shit or anything, toilet clothes, like sitting there hanging out. And I was like, all right, let's talk it out. So I talked with her and I shared with her the story of, yeah, no, that heartbreak really sucked, man. Like, what are you really feeling? And is that fear that we're feeling triggered right now? And we went through it and we just had this beautiful conversation. And at the end of it all, it was like, oh, I hadn't realized that my current situation is triggering that heart smash back from 11 years ago. So that was like a, huh. And then awareness brings change. 100% it brings change. When you bring your awareness to it, you can course correct that narrative. You can go into fueling all four bodies to help your bodies move through that trigger and transform that energy. So, side note, other thing, a lot of you out there thinking, like, oh, I'm going to release this negativity. I'm going to let go of this thing. How are you letting go of yourselves? You're not. You're transforming the energy. So, you're taking something, I always look at low vibration, fear based vibration as like a block of ice. And I look at high vibration like fire. And so, you want to melt the ice. You want to transform the energy that you're holding on to. And it was a beautiful, beautiful experience. It's one of my favorite things to do. Um, so I did that for my emotional body, and your inner child healing is all versions of you. So I'll share some other tips as we move through the next 25 days. But it's all of you. It's not just 8-year-old you or 3-year-old you or the 3-year-old that got raped, or it's not those things. It's all of you. So I spent some time with 33-year-old me and showed her my life. I was like, look at what we did. Like, here's what it looks like. Like, go look at the stack of piles or files on your desk. Like, that's what you do all day. It's amazing. Um, And I just sat with that energy. I sat with that memory. I sat with those feelings, which takes a little bit of courage to go into, and moved through it and healed through it and transformed that. And then this morning, I'm in a much different state of mind. I'm still a little bit fiery over, how do you even address that? I don't appreciate at all when someone puts me in a situation of absolute discomfort, of having to bring up a topic and set a boundary with it, and or else I'm not continuing this relationship. This is not correct. This is not integrity. That's not how I function. I don't want that energy in my life. So I hate it when someone puts me into that situation. I think it's highly disrespectful, and I don't think people really choose to look at it that way. They're just like, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And I never think that there's ill intent with it. Well, the one chick who tried to rewrite my whole fucking program, she can go fuck herself. Just be gone. But anybody else so far, I don't think that's ever their intention. I think they're just so lost in their messaging, and often something to evaluate in yourself. And I know I went through this because I did it all. Such a strong ache to be important in the world. And when you have that knowing that you're meant for something, and you have that ache for soul purpose, it triggers any childhood trauma in and around being seen and your desire to be important in the world. And so, out of that, unknowingly, out of the desire to be important, you start grabbing at whatever you can to put it into the world to feel some sense of being seen and recognized. But it's so much better if it's your own message. So there's that. That is day 75. All over the map. But hopefully this helps you. If you, thank you. By the way, you know what really changed me yesterday? I got to share something. I do this because I want to help. My heart aches to support people in attaining what I've attained or beyond. I want people. I know what it's like to feel small, abused, beaten down, numbed down, no self confidence, no fucking self worth whatsoever, to have toxic relationships, to have abandonment. I know that pain. I know what it's like to be fucking homeless. I know what it's like to be super, super wealthy. I've had all of these degrees in my life. I know what it's like to ache for soul purpose. I know the pain and I know the frustration. And I've shared in a lot of these videos how deep my depression got. I know it very well, and I don't want any soul to feel it at all. So I do these videos and I share my story, and I'm standing out here being vulnerable for you to create any impact that I can create, to inspire anybody to set a boundary or to believe in themselves or to take the next step. I thrive helping people change their lives. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to be the famous one. I am here to just do what I'm doing behind the scenes for others. And yesterday, one comment in particular welled me up with tears. Someone saying, I'll paraphrase it, of I've been following this journey since day one and I'm ready to be vulnerable. Hi. And commented for the first time on day 74. Thank you. It reminded me why I'm doing this. And I need that. And I do get lots of emails. I do get lots of love letters. I do get people reaching out privately. And fuck, man, I love it. But it's not my job or my role or my place to share what you've shared with me. I would never do that. I would never be like, screenshot, like you see everybody fucking else do, and be like, and then they just block out the face and the name. Like, I don't want to do that. That's not mine. So when you comment on these videos, thank you, because I don't want to seem like I'm lying. I'm not. And I don't care if you think that, but I know what I'm doing. But when someone actually comments on the actual public video or shares it, even better yet, my heart goes like, okay, keep going, Dime, keep going. Because it's sometimes challenging to keep going. It's not easy being in soul purpose. It's not easy giving all of you to everything that you do all the time and having to schedule and organize how you're going to give back to yourself. It's not easy. Sometimes, not always. And sometimes it's very challenging. And sometimes you get to the point where you're like, what's the fucking point? Like, why am I doing this? Why do I have this goal? Like, why can't I just have it easy? Because it's a lot of work. And so it really, really touched my heart. And I just wanted to say thank you. So there's that. Okay, I'll stop rambling. There's a whole shit ton of information for you. If there is anything specific, I mean, I've got a lot of fucking tools in my toolbox. So if there's anything specific that you would like to hear about or gain some tools or knowledge in and around or have an open conversation around, I would love to do a video for you. So let me know if there's anything in particular. And yeah, so go make your chart every day, every single day. You want to nurture all four bodies, whether it's for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or an hour. It's a game changer. All right. I'm really done this time. I love you. Okay. Bye.